Hello guys, today we'll be discussing about the execution order of the SQL statements. This topic is really important when you are sitting for any company interview. They are basically trying to check your basic knowledge about the SQL. Like they know that you can write the SQL statements and all, but they check this basic knowledge just to have a basic idea like you really understand the working procedure of the SQL statements or not. So that's why I took this topic. Okay, so just let's begin. So first of all, if what I'm trying to tell you in this topic is I am telling you the execution order, like in what order all the clauses of the SQL statements are executed. Okay, so first of all, let us consider these three statements. Okay, like the SQL statement comprises of select, m from, okay, and it consists where also. So the order of statements that are executed in this case will be first will be from clause. The from clause will be executed first because it needs to fetch the table, okay, like from which table the data needs to be fetched. Then it will apply the where condition. Then after from clause it will come to the where clause where it will apply the condition like which data from that table needs to be fetched, and then it will work on select clause like the then in after finally the select clause will be executed. Okay, like the select whichever the data it is required according to the condition, that data will be fetched with the select clause. Okay, so if the execute statement is containing only these three clauses, then the order of execution will be first the from clause will be executed, then where clause will be executed, and finally the select clause will be executed. Now if the SQL statement contains a order by clause, in addition to these three statements, in this C clause from where and select, if the SQL statement also consists of the order by clause, then what we will do is first it will execute the from clause as it was in the first condition. Okay, oh sorry, I don't know what it, yes. So as it was happening in the first case, it executed the from clause. Similarly in the second also it will execute the where clause, then it will all execute the select clause. Okay, now when you have ultimately fetched the data with the help of select, if the SQL statement consists of order clause, it will be executed after the select statement. That whenever the data is fetched with the select statement, the order in which the data is required, so for that order by is used final at the last stage. Okay, now in addition to all these four clauses, if the SQL statement consists of group by clause, then what will happen is the order of the execution will be first the from clause will be executed, like like the data will be fetched from which table. Okay, then the condition will be applied, like from that table which data needs to be fetched, then the group by will be performed. Okay, group by means like if the data is fetched according to the condition with the help of where clause, the group by will be applied. Okay, after applying the group by, the select will be executed. Like after grouping the data together, whatever is the requirement, after grouping the data, ultimately the data will be fetched with the help of the select statement, and then lastly the order by will be performed. In which order do you want the data? So for that the order by will be performed lastly. Now if the statement contains having clause, okay, now as you all know, the where the having clause is used, it is used with the help of with aggregated function. Now group by is an aggregated function. Okay, so with that having will be used. Now when the having clause is available in the SQL statement, first the from will be executed. Keep this in mind, whatever is the condition, from will be executed first, because in order to fetch the data, firstly we need to know from where the data needs to be fetched. So in order to know that, you need to execute the from at the first place. Okay, so after that where will be executed. Okay, after applying the condition with the help of where clause, the grouping will be performed with the help of group by clause. After performing the group by clause, the having clause will be executed, because having is a kind of condition that applies to the aggregated function. Okay, so once the aggregated function is applied, you also need to apply the having clause. Okay, so for that having clause will be applied after group by, and then finally the select statement. Now if the SQL statement contains the join clause. Now in this case what will happen is, now here the here some things are changed, like as you can see in all the above and conditions where clause was was getting executed at the second place, but in this scenario where clause will be executed at the third place, I will tell you the reason why. So in this scenario, from will be executed as usual. Now in the second place, join will be performed. Okay, because when you will know that from where the data needs to be fetched, once you know that, you need to join that data with the available data from where you need to join. Okay, like let's say if you need to fetch data from a table and you need to join it with b, so first of all you will fetch from the data from the table a, and then you need to know from which table do I need to combine my table A. So in order to do that, you need to have the, you need to use the join clause. So that's why it is used at the second place. First the from will be performed, then the join will be performed. After the join is performed, once the tables are joined, then the where condition will be applied together, because you cannot apply the where condition at only one table or another table. Okay, you need to apply the where condition together on both the tables after joining. So this is the reason why it is using where clause at the third position. Then after finally there will be select. Okay, now when we combine all of these clauses, no matter what clauses are present, whether it is a group by, join, having, final execution will be followed in this order. First of all, from clause, like as I already told you, it will always come at the first place. Then if the join is present, then the join will be performed at the second place, like from which table you need to join the data from. After that, the condition will be applied on the joined tables. Okay, then the group by will be performed. Once the condition is applied, the data is fetched conditionally, then you will apply the group by clause. Group by clause, what will happen is, in the scenario of group by clause, the condition the it is an aggregated function. So the aggregate function will only be applied after the condition is applied. Like so, first of all, the where is applied, and then the group by will be performed. After performing the group by aggregated function, it will have an condition, because as I already told you, having clause is an aggregate, is an condition of, is a conditional formatting of aggregated functions, right? So it is an aggregated functions. After applying the group by clause, which is an aggregated function, having will be executed, then the select will be executed, and then finally the order in which you need the data for that order by is applied at the last. So this was all for this video, guys. So if you need to know more about this topic, right, if you need to have a more detailed idea of this topic, you can visit this website learnsql.com. Okay, they have very good resources, like they will tell you all the things in details, right? I will provide this link in the description box so you can go through it, and once you go through it, let me know in the comment section that whether you understood or not. And if there's any doubt, just do let me know, write an email or just comment us in, just write a comment in the comment section so that I can read it and I can help you guys with this. Okay, so that was all for this video. Thank you guys.